I'm going to show you the fastest way to level up your strength, agility, vitality, speech, and by coincidence, your main level as well. So we're going to go through each one of these. I'll show you the fastest way. In case you were like post-game, wanted to level up, or whatever your reasoning is, here's the fastest way to do everything. We're going to start with strength and vitality. These can be leveled together with a very, very fast exploit. So, for example, I'll give you one example to start, but you can, translate this to whatever area you want, however you want to do this. But in Troskowitz, okay, there's like the guardhouse and all this stuff in the bailiff, and there's these big buildings right here. Well, you can go in here and you can get a bunch of stuff to weigh yourself down. The main thing is you're going to want to weigh yourself down. So, for example, in here, there's a door over here that's very hard locked. Now, you can come at night and we can steal the key, but for now, I'm just going to try to lockpick this while no one's watching and hopefully not get caught. So, inside of here, even if I get caught, I really don't care, honestly, because I can just load mine. I'm just showing you. Inside of here is this chest, and if you have the key, you don't have to lockpick both of these, which again, I'll show you the key in a second, but you can do this with anything that you want. The main thing is it's just an easy way to get a ton of gear. So you go in here and you would just transfer all these items, and then you can also go over here and grab all these items over here as well, these glaives, because they're also super heavy, if they happen to be here. And these will respawn every night, and every 2 nights it'll be even more, so however often you want to come here to grab that stuff. And you do that stuff until you are weighed down as much as you can. So my max care weight's 400 because my strength's so high and all this stuff. But at the bottom right, there's a bunch of icons there. Maybe I can see it better in the buffs. In the buffs, there's overload, and it has a bar on it that's barely filled. I don't know if it makes a difference or not, but I'm just figuring while I'm doing it, I just keep coming back and stealing this over and over again. But what you'll do is you'll do this at night, though, if that's too hard for you, the lockpicking. And you'll go up here at night where I'm looking right here, which is all showing the map real fast. This building right here. There'll be a guy sleeping up there, and you can rob him while he's sleeping. He'll have a key, and then you can just use that key to get in there if, the lockpicking is not something. Most of you aren't going to have Thievery 30, so lockpicking is kind of hard. And then what you can do afterwards is go to a place like this and sleep, and then wait for it to regen, sleep and wait and eat, and sleep and wait and eat and stuff, and then wait for it all to regen, and then go steal it again and again and again and again and again. And you want to do that until you are at that maximum carry weight, which, again, I can see over here in the buffs. There's overload. You want that bar to be completely yellow and full, which I'm not, but that really doesn't change much for me just demonstrating. So what you'll be doing then is once you get that completely full, you'll want to head out of town. And this is where, if you're on PC, if you have a controller laying around, you want to plug it in just to cheese it. Otherwise, you could use auto hotkey or something if you really want to. Or you could just suffer and just wait. It doesn't take an insane amount of time. So I don't know how fast it's going to level me right now because I don't have completely maxed out stuff, but like I'm just barely overweight. But for example, strength is at 320. And what happens is when you're over encumbered, your stats will just go up from moving. So I don't know if it's how much it's going up right now since I'm just barely encumbered and I'm close to max level now. But that was, what was that, 12 XP, I think, just then? So what you'll do is you'll get a controller and you'll set something on your controller so it just makes you spin in a circle like this. And then you just walk away. And you'll just come back in, I don't know, it depends how much you want. But if you're trying to max it, just an hour or two, a few hours or something like that. And bam, then you'll have max strength and max vitality because it's leveled up strength and vitality at the same time. So that'll get strength and vitality out of the way. If you leave it AFK for just like 2 hours, you'll probably, maybe 3, I don't know. And then you'll be up to max level. The other thing is you can combine all this with a Henry's Fox if you want to. Have a video on that, which gives you plus 50% XP for 2 days. Combined with that, you could definitely get it done in like an hour or two of just AFK running in a circle or manually running in a circle, which would suck. But anyway, that was the strength and vitality. So we got those out of the way. Let's move on to agility. So for agility, the easiest way to do this, now you can find any NPC that you want. The easiest way is to find a guard. But you could also do this to like a bandit or something like that. You just want to get in a 1v1 with somebody who's not going to run away ever and they're actually going to fight to the death. Or at least fight a lot. And then what you're going to do is you're just going to punch them real fast. Get them mad. And then just back up, okay? And get them to chase you out of town if it's a guard. Or if it's not a guard, you just want to get somewhere safe. And then you're good to go. So I'm going to get back a little more. Now, there's a dodge button in this game. It's spacebar on the mouse and keyboard, and it is circle on a PlayStation controller or B on an Xbox controller, and that will let you dodge, okay? So what we need to do is there's an exploit we can use once we're far enough out of town. It's only far enough that nobody's going to come help this guy. So what it is I don't know if it's going to work with the glaive guy. I know it works with the one-handed guy, so try to get someone who has a one-handed weapon just to be safe. But what you want to do is dodge like forward and left or forward and right, and then that will get you right behind them like this, which will then make them immediately attack again. Now, it works better if they have a long sword. Like, the glaive guy's not it, okay? But if you get it right, and it's a guy with a one-handed sword especially, you'll be able to just do it like this, and they'll just keep on swinging. And even the glaive guy might do it here. And every time that you dodge an attack successfully, you'll get agility XP. And this is, like, hands down the fastest way. If you combine this with Henry's Fox, it's kind of nuts. I'm at 880, for example. I do one dodge, and now I'm at 890. So it's 10 per dodge. So it's literally 10 XP, 10 XP. And if you use a Henry's Fox, it's 15 XP. And then, well, he didn't attack. 15 XP. Oh, I let him hit me. 15 XP every single time. So again, try to find a one-handed sword guy, though, or one-handed mace or something. They do a better job of that exploit. You can just swing in faster succession, and they do less damage if they bonk you, so it's always good. Well, so with that out of the way, let's take a look at speech. Now, this one's the biggest pain in the ass out of all of them by far. There's a bunch of different ways you can get started on this, but I'll show you the easiest way. So you go to Troskowitz, and you want to go here at night, right after midnight, ideally. So everyone's asleep. You're going to go to the pillory right behind that. Here's the tailor. You can also do this during the day any way you want. I'm just going to show you the easy way I have to do this. So this is a very easy lockpick. You can just get in here. If you need lockpicks, by the way, you can get them at the trader over in Troskowitz. But these are very easy locks to pick. And then you might want to, if your thievery is really bad, you don't know what you're doing, save the game right here. And then the tailor here, you're going to rob him. That'll be way harder for you. You hold the button and then let go before he wakes up. You want to get his keys. Okay, now you might have to, and there's be question marks if your thievery's low. It'll be a lot harder when your thievery's low, but just save the game and try over and over until you get his keys. Then you're going to go over across the street. Then you can just open this up, unless you just want to lockpick it instead. And then you can go in here and you can open this up with his keys. And you can go in here and try to, you can just take it all if you want. But the main thing you're trying to do is make it so you can go to your inventory, go to your armor, and you go over here, and you'll notice on the left, there's a bunch of stats here, and there's one that's called Charisma. So all these things have different charismas. You'll just go through the gear that you stole and save the ones that give you the best charisma for each slot and have a set kind of like how I have this one. And it just goes on the right charisma 30. That's the max it'll show. But I have crazy gear on that gives like insane amounts of charisma, like 39 for this cat, for example. Once you have that, you can control your charisma, and that's going to be the key to leveling up speech. Speech is kind of a pain in the ass to level up, but this will allow you to manipulate it in a way that makes it much easier to level up. Afterwards, you're going to want to either get out of town or get away, and then you're going to go ahead and wait until sometime after, like, say, 9 maybe. And then we can go to the first guy to level up your speech. Now, if your speech is already pretty high, you're probably going to skip this first step. And you can do this. You can adjust this to any way you want. You can find similar NPCs for this. But in the Troskowitz Cemetery, that's where we want to go for the one that I'll show you. There's actually another one afterwards for the higher level speech. So once you get to the cemetery, you're looking for this guy, Gravedigger Ignatius. Now, the reason we want to deal with this guy is he doesn't... Like, I don't know, he's easy to work with, and he tends to fight back, which is what we want. So what we're going to do to him is we're going to go to our inventory. We're going to go to player, and then go over to the secondary tab where we can see our persuasion, coercion, impression, domination, presence, intimidation, okay? And what you're going to do is you're going to try to get your persuasion or impression, whichever one you can control. I think impression's the easiest one to control with gear, I think. Basically, you want one of these to be low enough to where you can barely convince this guy to agree to what we're going to do. So what we're going to do, first off, you can start by being too high, and you punch him again, and then speak to him and say, I surrender. There's a button at the bottom right to chat. Oh boy, I need him to fight, actually. You need to do it before he does that. Hold on. If he runs, it gets real weird. Okay, well, this is just awkward now. I literally can't catch him. There we go. Okay. You want the big thing. I was slow because I wanted to show you the controls. It's not going to be that hard, but I was trying to show you the controls, so I gave him a chance to run. Anyway, you want to say, I surrender, and then go in here, and you want to do either the heart or the mouth one. But the thing is you're going to want it to be as close to failure as possible, which I don't know offhand exactly what it is for this guy, so you'll have to play with it some, but it's like 11 or 8 or 9 to convince this guy to forgive you, something like that. And then you're going to want to keep it there. Now, as you level up speech, it will get harder and harder, because it'll get easier and easier to convince them, which will make you get less XP and less XP. So what you can do is you can start taking off your fancy gear in order to lower your charisma so that you can keep getting XP from them. Now, in my case, I'm so high level that even if I take all my gear off, I still easily convince him and don't get XP. But doing that too, and what you'll do is, in theory, is you'll punch him, and then you'll say, I surrender. And then you'll go in here, and you'll pick whichever one will get you the XP. And then you're going to punch him again, and then say, I surrender. And you're just going to sit here and do this. Now, the reason we do it to this guy is because there's no guards around here, and he'll work with us. So, because there's no guards around, as long as he never gets away, then you're good to go. The other thing is, you'll have to keep in mind, he will take damage. So if your unarmed skill is super high, you're going to have trouble grinding this on him because you're going to beat him up so damn fast. But if that's the case, you could try just knocking him out, sleeping in his house, and doing different things. If he knocks out, he may go to the guards when he wakes up. So it can get really weird if you're trying to protect your reputation. But with him, or find your own NPC, this is generally the way to level up speech. So that'll get you started. And then once you get enough speech and or enough charisma gear, which hopefully you can just get enough charisma gear to skip to the really good NPC. There's one NPC that's really good for this. So later on, you'll get to Trotsky Castle. You'll unlock this pretty early on in the game. Once you get to the castle, you're going to head over to this tower right here. You'll get to the top and you'll see these stairs. You'll head up these stairs. And you basically just go up and up and up. Maybe you've been up here. Surely you have. If not, it's going to be this crazy thing. You'll find it eventually. Go up all these stairs. Inside of here is the Holy Grail of speech. No pun intended, because this place is holy. There is a father here, a priest named Nicodemus. And this guy is the ultimate guy to level up speech that I've ever found. Because he's isolated. There's no guards around. And he's pretty tanky, honestly. Though if you're unarmed, it's pretty high, you're going to beat him up anyway. But there's also a bed right here. So, yeah, he's pretty insane. So, again, that's right here. So what you're going to do is you're going to ideally save your game. You're going to bring some food with you, dried food preferably. And you're going to go here sometime between like 9 and 12 or something like that. And then what you're going to want for this guy is you're going to want to go to your inventory and see that your charisma, right now mine's at 30, which I wouldn't even get XP from this guy at this point. But I would take off armor. I would just take the stuff off until my charisma is, I think, 21 or 22. But what really matters is once you're actually in the conversation with him. So same thing. You're going to punch him again. 2 punches. If you don't punch him twice, he'll run. So you have to punch him twice. And then you'll go here, and you'll see at the top the stats for each of these. There's 25, 30, and 30. You're going to want to do either this one or this one when they're at 21 or 22. Ideally 22, because at 21, there's actually a chance that he will not forgive you. At 22, he should 100% time forgive you, but controlling it exactly is very hard. So what you're going to do is get that as close to 20, keep this as close to 22 as you possibly can. If it starts to go too high, try to find some combo of gear that will get your charisma right back to where you want it, if possible. And then you're just going to follow the loop, okay? So there's a little bit more to this one, but generally it's the same. So punch him twice, follow the loop. Can't you forgive me? He forgives you. You'll get XP doing this as long as your charisma's at 21 or 22 or 23. Maybe even 24. But you get more the closer it is. And you'll keep doing this. He'll eventually get beat up, but you can see he's a lot tankier than the other guy. He's still not even at the stage where he's bent over. And you'll do this till he's bent over. Then, if you don't want to lose rep, the thing you don't want is you do not want to knock him out, okay? Because if you knock him out, then you got to wait. Then he'll have 1 HP when he gets up, and the only way to get him down, the only way to stop him is to knock him out. So there's no hope, and you're done. So ideally, you don't get to that if you don't want to lose rep. And so what you'll do is once he's low on health, you'll just do it another 5 or 10 times, maybe 15, depending on how high or low your unarmed is. And then you'll just call it, okay? You'll go and you'll wait until, later in the evening. You might be able to get him a second time later in the evening. It's not always the case. But so there's 3 places he can be. So you can check in the morning, you can do it to him, then do it again in the evening. He'll either be here, or he'll be down here. If you wait for a few hours, he tends to regen like almost all or all of his HP. Then once you get out of time and it's late in the evening, you're going to eat some food, you're going to sleep in this bed till morning, and then you're going to repeat the process until you are bored out of your mind of leveling speech. Now, again, if you combine this with the Henry's Fox, then this will not actually take very long at all. If you can actually keep your charisma in the correct spot, then you do this with a Henry's Fox, you could probably go from speech level like 15 all the way to, I assume, speech 30 in like an hour or 2, and it'd be pretty darn fast. But it's just a lot of setup and is a pain in the ass to get this all, done right. So a lot of moving parts in this, basically. But if you do it right, there's your speech levels, okay? So then, main level. At this point, you get main level. Main level it grows as you get strength, agility, vitality, and speech. So just level up all the other ones and you'll get your main levels. So that covers all that. So I just wanted to cover these 4 in this because I knew it was going to take a while to explain each one. As for these other skills, that would have to be a different video entirely because if I did all that, it'd be like a 35, 40-minute video or something, I would imagine. So anyway, hope that helped you out, guys. If you're needing to level any of these 4 things or you just want to level all of them, or maybe you're at the end game, you beat the game, and you just want to finish out your stats and you're missing a few of them and you want to get up to 30 or however, whatever your reason is, or if you want to do it at the very beginning of the game so you pass speech skill checks or any reason you have, that's why you're probably clicking this and looking this up. So I hope this is able to help you out, guys. As far as I know, those are the fastest ways to level each of those up. I haven't been able to find a faster way. Maybe there's some other way out there, but each of those is still ridiculously fast. And if you do all of them and you Henry's Fox, you could probably get all of them to level 30 in like 6 hours, 4 hours, 8 hours, something like that, and be done with all of them from like level 8 all the way to 30. If they're already level 25, you could finish them all off in like an hour, maybe 2, if you do these methods. So hope to help you out, guys. Now you know the fastest ways to level up main level strength, agility, vitality, and speech in Kingdom Come: Deliverance 2.